Welcome back, everybody, back in the video. Today we're going to be talking about Frieren's passive and the best synergies with her tier list. So again, if you don't know, she's the only character in the game, first of its kind, to basically get a resource increase to all allies. Fantastic. We were waiting for this, because we have everything else in terms of buffs, besides a resource increase. And man, oh man, this opens the door to any future characters that does have focus, fighting spirit, anything else they want to make later on down the road. Who knows that they want to make something else in terms of resources, right? But overall, she's the only character that does this. But now let's talk about it right away. Now, it is going to be granting a 40% increase as soon as the match starts. That is it. It is only a one-time thing. After that, no more. That's very, very important to know, because it's only at the start. Right, so let's say you have 60 fighting spirit, you go up to 100. Let's say you have 1 focus, you go up to 2. Simple, just like that, right? Let's go ahead and look at this tier list, right? Again, I love this character just from her passive alone, not even looking at her artifact, which we will talk about later on today. But overall, very, very solid just from this alone. Already OP. Right? Already OP, not even including the rest of her passive, which again, we'll dive into later on. This is a completely different video for that, right? So let's go look at the brand new synergy tier list. And again, please, this character opens up the door to many things, right? So let's go ahead and look at it. So we have our Frieren synergy tier list. In the top row, all these characters basically start off with 60% fighting spirit. And with this character in play, with Frieren on the team, their passive slash S3 or whatever skill is going to be activated already. Ready to go. Ready to let off. And man, oh man, I do think this is a really, really big buff for Teo and Pavel. Because Pavel, you need to crit twice to basically proc him. But now, all you need to do is hit once, and it is going to proc him. Very, very, very nice. Teo, on the other side, is going to be seeing the biggest increase with this. Now he is going to be, oh man, this character is going to be super, super good now. Because the biggest concern with him was that, well, SPP exists, Elvira exists. Well, yes, Elvira is still a problem for this character, and SPP is still a problem for this character. Now, at least, Frieren provides a way to at least negate SPP. There's no way to negate Elvira, by the way, right? You do see the counters down here. Elvira is always going to shut them down regardless. But if there is a SPP on the team, you can pretty much play around that, which I like a lot. Because this character, very, very OP as an opener, can shut down many things. Alright, same thing with Solitaria. Solitaria is just like Elvira. These two units, if they stop focus, well then you're going to be gaining nothing. Alright, so just keep that in mind, right? These two characters will shut down either resources, either Fighting Spirit, Elvira, focus with Solitaria. Keep that in mind, right? If you see any Frierens moving forward, these two characters will shut them down completely. Way better than SPP will, right? Because SPP only cuts the resources in half, while these characters just negate those resources in general, right? So again, back to Teo. Teo is going to see the biggest buff out of all of this, in my opinion, because bro can just rip his S3 automatically. Oh, man. Instant free turn. Like, bro, I don't know how you're going to stop this man. He was already I always thought he was very, very insane. But it was just always trying to work around his passive. There was always 15% going on there. And I didn't really like that. But now we have a guaranteed way for him to take his next turn. Oh, man, he's going to be super good. I cannot wait till next week, because this man, he has been on my bench. I pulled him a couple weeks ago at this point, and I've been wanting to use him. But I don't like getting 15%ed. But now, the time is here. We can actually use demands inside of potentially Arena and Guild War now without having to worry about getting 15% in. Same thing with RTA. I know a lot of people, especially cleavers, can definitely make good use of Successor Teo. His damage is already disgusting. Now we have a way to get him guaranteed turn. Like, bro, pack it up. This man's about to go to the sky. Now, next, we have 1 debuff / debuff away or 1 hit away. Now, this is very, very nice to know. Young Senya, we do not need a green unit no more in the front. Funny enough, I mean, you are drafting a green unit with Frieren. But Now you don't really need a green unit in the front, which is very, very nice. Because again, with Young Senya, if you get the green unit in the front, you get the 100 Fighting Spirit, yada yada yada. You get the gist of it, right? But now you don't really need to put that in the front. You can put Balsaruka in the front with Frieren on the side and Young Senya on the side, and boom, there you go. New protection comp, because guess what? It does not matter. That increased resource, insane. Insane for these three characters as well. Now, I don't think Lilibet is going to see that much play in terms of like, okay, when you're drafting Lilibet, it's literally versus cleavers. CC cleavers, right? There's a lot of crowd control and all that, a lot of debuffs. So I don't really think it's going to affect her that much, personally. And then we do have Landy, which I think Landy as well will be getting a very, very good buff out of this. Not on the same level as Teiyu or Pablo, in my opinion, but I think she'll be a lot much better now to draft compared to before, because again, she didn't need to rely on buffs and all that good stuff, but now she can basically rip off her S3 almost instantly if they have a buff. If they have a buff, she can literally S3 right away. But you can do a lot of things with that. You can do a lot. Again, cleavers will figure out a way. So, and I really feel like Landy is more of a cleaver unit than anything else. Well, yes, you can use her for like turn 2 and stuff. I did use her for the prelims of the E7 World Cup, but I can definitely see this character be more towards a cleave option now with Frieren existing now, right? Now let's go down into the next tier. This one, they basically need to use one more skill to get their passive / skill ready, whichever the skill is going to be, right? So, not too shabby list in my opinion. It's just going to speed it up. I think Fulmir might be more insane now because again, beforehand, she needed to soul burn and then get obviously you need book on her, soul burn into another turn, and then her passive should proc. But now she should be able to just rip S3 or S1 and it will proc automatically. Very, very nice. Urban Shower shoots S3 is going to get much quicker. Not too shabby, right? Violet and all them, I don't think so much is going to change it. Benimaru. Yeah, Benimaru is Benimaru. You still really only want to use them versus characters that do have extra turns. Otherwise, I would not really use them. Milla may come back. Who knows if you do have her. Arya's Arya. I think she's already good as is. I mean, yeah, I take the extra damage, but I don't think it's going to change much for her. But overall, these are going to be the characters in that tier. Now, let's talk about this juicy tier down here, which honestly, I think this tier, it's funny enough, is kind of insane when you really look at it. Abyssal Euphine. Oh, man. I saw a lot of comments saying Abyssal Euphine is coming back, even though she's never going anywhere. She's very, very broken, right? And now she has a way to get her S3 faster. That is kind of insane. Like, she's gonna see the most gain out of everybody inside this tier list, maybe alongside Setsuka as well. These two characters are probably gonna be insane now, even more insane than they were before. So again, if you see Frieren, you have to be careful with what they draft. If they draft some disgusting things that you're not ready for, you can just lose just like that. So, obviously, we do have Archdemon Bellona. We have Archdemon, Bellona, Brave Violet, Lone Crescent Bellona, which are just going to be okay. Kairon is very, very nice because that means he's going to be getting more true damage. When I mean by true damage, I do mean by like a set amount of damage. So, he's going to be doing like, let's say, start a battle. He's going to have like, 40 Fighting Spirit. So, he'll have an extra 4k damage. Kind of good. That's actually pretty good, right? So, Setsuka, again, her passive getting up there very, very quicker. She can rip off her passive, and that passive does crazy amount of damage. Disgusting unit. Absolutely insane. Charlotte, whatever, so bad guy, hey, this man may come back. Maybe try him out in PvP. Who knows? But he needs a certain condition. Landy, they come back as well. Her S3, you can rip it off. Very, very nice. And then Seaside Bellona. And then, lastly, we got just more resources. This doesn't really change much in them, in my opinion. Well, yeah, Shu gets more for her pen on her S2 and all that. Ravi just gains Fighting Spirits. Harseti just builds up her more resources to her S3 to do a big old penetrates more damage S3, I guess, right? And then it's ending with Arbiter Vildred. It's just more resources for him to basically get more damage on his S3. And then counters SPP. Now again, these characters, normally when you take them versus SPP, you don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that. But now, with her existing, Frieren existing, you are able to at least take Flan and Sage Vivian at least more safely into SPP. It's still going to be a problem, right? It's still going to be a problem, but it's at least a little bit more safer now, right? Just a little bit, right? But other than that, though, that's pretty much going to be the Frieren synergy tier list. Overall, again, I cannot wait for this character. Let me know down below. Are you guys excited? Again, this character opens this door up for any future resource unit. And that alone is already insane enough. Alright? But other than that, though, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you guys later on. Peace out.